morning. Good morning. What's happening, family? Welcome to the show. Oh my God. Let me just say that you all joined us just as we was dying here in the studio. I couldn't help but, you know, say something to the brothers about they little show they was doing. The little show they was doing yesterday. What's it called? Let's talk about it. Let's not. I'm like, I don't know who picked these little topics. And while some of the topics have merit, it doesn't take long for the conversations to go off the rails. And I'm just frustrated that I always happen to be in the car when this little show comes on. And you hear me keep saying this little show. Because yesterday I'm not gonna rehash it. It's too early. It's too early in the morning. It's too early in the morning to offend so many people. But there was a question about people supporting their mates, their partners, they people, while they are getting their act together, while they're figuring it out, holding people down.
Hold it down.
And Jermaine talked about, well, what about if somebody got potential? And I didn't want to call in.
You had to.
My fingers was shaking. And I was trying to drive in the steering wheel. And I was like, don't call, Michelle. They ignorant. Don't call. Do not call. But then I had to. I could not take it. Because Jermaine was really stuck on this whole concept of potential.
Yeah. No.
I just quickly summarized that I will just say, hey, if you have not reached your potential by 24,
it's over.
There will be no more investment in you. There will be no more holding down. Yeah, is his mic on?
It's on.
Oh my God, I thought it was.
You can't hear a doggone thing.
Okay, say what now?
You don't believe in late bloomers?
Look, I'm not gonna say everything is possible. You just can't do it over here. You can't late bloom over here. You feel free to late bloom at any sister house you want to, but mine.
So you better been
What you say? You better been bloomed before you come holler at me. I just was so appalled by Jermaine and this. But Michelle, he may have potential. The brother may have potential. And I respect potential. But if you ain't hit it by 25, we don't have nothing to talk about.
You will never, ever, ever know
it. So with that, I'm going to say good morning to these special individuals that hosted that conversation yesterday. I'm definitely going to turn my station to another channel when I get in the car. So, cause see, I forget and I start moving around. And next thing I know, I hear the conversation. And I'm like, they done got me again. Cause I had to call in what day last week, I think, about some nonsense they was talking about. But if Debo was the one picking these topics, y'all need to stop that. Y'all need to stop that because everybody know Debo gonna be messy. He gonna say messy stuff, and he gonna stroke the messy.
Somebody said this sounds like a Blues Cafe conversation.
That's what it was, bro.
Jermaine, play some Johnny Taylor.
That's exactly what it was. I was appalled. I was like, this is on at 11 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday.
You got to remember how it started. It started out with why we kind of look or when people are in interracial relationships, and then
you rehashing it. No.
That's how it started.
Yeah, Look, Ladette just gonna check in talking about something. Maybe you should give them at least until 26, provided That's when they're off their parents' insurance.
Great point, Lynette.
You know what? You and Obama can kick bricks. She said, because then they're considered almost grown. Oh my God. She is ridiculous. Okay, Lynette. Did not appreciate your 2 cents this morning. We got callers already. All right, let's go to the phone line. Let me see. What does it say? You know what? I can't have it out there that I said Obama can kick bricks. You see, somebody gonna take that clip and send it to my man. He gonna be like, Michelle, I thought we was cool.
Michelle?
Obama can kick bricks.
Michelle,
yeah, I need to click. Can we edit that? I need to grab that back. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hi, Michelle. Very spirited conversation this morning. I am a long-time listener, long-time supporter. I love the format of the show where people get to call in and talk about grievances. And I was wondering if you all could help me.
What?
I'm dealing with a situation.
Okay.
My mama told me to go get a dining room table 12 months ago. 12 months ago, I went to go get a dining room table for my mom. I done put it in storage. Now it's sitting in my garage, taking up valuable space in my garage. And if my mama could just come get her dining room table, it would sure help me out. And I look forward to hearing what you all think I could do. Y'all got some advice for me? It would go along.
You know what, little boy?
No,
This is my son. This is my son. This is my son calling from Georgia. This is my son.
Wonderful conversation. Wonderful conversation.
Get her.
No, and I ain't asking much. I know. We gallivanting around the country. If we could just come to the dining room table, everybody would appreciate it.
He said everybody would appreciate it.
For real? He called it.
Y'all got some advice. I could get my mama to come down here and get her. In the name of God, she said she would come get it within a week of me getting it when I first.
Somebody said burnt toast and coffee time again.
That is hilarious.
Young brother.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Thank you for your call.
Absolutely. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Oh my God,
he's so raggedy. Yeah, so that actually is my real son.
Somebody get my mama. Come get this table.
He's so raggedy. Oh my God! Somebody about boom what? He didn't do nothing. And so, just a quick backstory: when my mother passed, my mother only had 2 children, me and my brother. And when she passed, the only thing that I wanted that my mother had was her dining room set. End of story. That's the only thing I wanted. My brother got everything, or we gave away everything else. And so the dining room set was at my brother's house because he lived by himself. He ain't got nothing else to do. He could store it for me. So then my brother moved to a new location, and he had other people in his house now. His son is with him and blah, blah, blah. And so he didn't have room. So I told my son, go get my dining room set and I'll be down there to get it. That was like a year ago. And so, he was like, well, I'm gonna put it in storage. I was like, no, just leave it in your garage because I'm coming to get it. But then things kept happening and I didn't get down there yet. So, this little public, little display that we just had. I'm gonna holler at you. I'm gonna holler at you because he'd be like, Jesus, can you come get your dining room set?
I'm tired of looking at it
because he real particular about how he keep his environment, and I guess my dining room set is in the way. I think he said he can't park his car on his side of the garage. And I guess since the weather's been a little bad in Georgia, he's a little testy.
Mhm.
But you did not just call this radio station
Yeah.
and try to get me on blast.
You did.
Shelby gonna say, and the brain fully develops at 25. You know what? I'm sick of y'all.
They
I'm
bogus.
sick of y'all and potential.
They bogus.
Let me say good morning to the bros. First of all, in the studio, I have not done that. Good morning, Mr. Rideout. How you doing this morning, sir?
Well, Shell, I haven't took out time.
Don't. Don't.
I just
Don't.
want to tell you.
Do not.
I got a question for you.
Don't.
My question is,
Oh Lord.
You got Clark saying, "Oh Lord."
my question to you, Shell, is
Shall
do you know
one day?
the Muffin Man? And
I don't.
well, let me ask you, do you know
Don't sing it.
the Muffin Man?
Don't sing it.
Oh Lord.
Stop it right now.
I had to wonder if you know the Muffin Man.
Stop
The
it,
Muffin Man.
Jermaine. Take your meds.
Yeah.
They right there by the lotion.
Do,
That bottle right there. Net.
do you know the Muffin Man?
Jermaine, take that pill. Get it. I'm not playing. Get that medicine.
I gotta ask if they know the Muffin Man.
It's right there by that lotion. Get it. Let me move on. Clark, we can't even do it because you got this disturbance happening in the front of the classroom. What's happening, Clark? How you doing this morning, bro?
I'm doing good.
Good. Is your partner in crime in the pit over there?
Woo-hoo, in the back.
In the back. Y'all should stop doing that to Debo.
It's over.
I don't
He just earned the name.
condone, y'all referring to Debo with sounds.
Push him in his belly.
I think it's inappropriate.
Okay.
All right, so let me see.
You got a couple
On my
calls.
phone, I got calls. Okay, hang
Yeah,
on.
he got called.
I'm sorry.
Do you know the
What's up,
Muffin
little sister? I see your fireplace you send in. Like you cozied up and staying warm. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be more of a snow day, so I could have stayed at the house today. I looked outside and was like, go and do the Esther roll. Damn.
Here comes-
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I was gonna be able to stay at home today. What's his name over at Channel 12? Mr. Baden made it sound like it was gonna be treacherous.
Snow
outside.
McGelly. Snow McGelly
Well,
out there.
in honesty, he only said 1 to 3 inches,
Oh, did he?
but it just sounded like it was gonna be a lot.
Yeah,
And 1 to 3 inches wasn't bad. I'm like, all that's manageable, but in my mind,
yeah.
it was way
It's
worse.
more like 12 to 13.
So I was peeking out the window at 5:00 this morning, like this ain't nothing.
Look at who.
I got that up with my broom this morning. I didn't even get the shovel out. So, all right. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
I just wanted to say, I'm gonna call you Derek.
Your phone is breaking up, ma'am.
I'm gonna call you Derek this morning, sir. I'm gonna call you Derek. You can't keep the table for your grandmama and your mama, but could you get those suits for me? I'm asking for it. Oh my goodness, because I've been waiting that long.
My mother has been
Love
my
y'all.
mother has been gone almost 5 years. And I brought back a whole bunch of her suits for Lena. Oh wait, I bagged them up, but I never bring them back.
You never bring
Because everything went to my brother's house because I flew in and flew back home. And then I keep forgetting every time I go. Thank you, Judge Taylor, for adding your 2 cents to the conversation. Okay, man, I hate when people know you.
Yeah, it's all- it's all-
Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning, Michelle.
Well, good morning, Angela. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay. So you had some good points yesterday.
And you had some interesting ones. I think your points are what made me call in and give my points.
I know.
Because I was driving down the street like, This fill in the blank. I said, this girl is too much. So yeah,
but it's not like that. This in this realm of this year, it's not nothing like.
no, not the
going on.
realm.
That was way back in that was way back in the day when I didn't know no better.
And you
but
need to
I know
say
better
that.
today.
You needed to have said that.
Well, no one ever gave me a chance.
Oh,
to,
you
because
had
we got,
opportunity.
hold on. I kept getting cut off.
No, you
And
had
then the
space and
last time-
opportunity.
Hold on. The last time when I called back, it was going to go off the air because it was Reverend Shopping time.
Yes.
So I was sitting there.
Thank God for small miracles.
Yeah, I was sitting there, clear that up.
I know.
So you would know.
Okay.
But it was too late.
Yeah, we good.
Yeah, you're still there. You still, I got you. We good.
Okay. Well, do you have anything
Rhino.
for this morning before I go to break?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mr.
what you
Rhino,
got?
good morning.
Good morning, Angela.
How are you, love?
I'm good. Angela, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
Sure.
Do not, don't answer.
How you doing, Debo?
See, didn't I tell you?
Clark.
Didn't I tell you?
How
I'm
you
sick of
doing,
you.
Debo? I just said, how you doing, Debo?
Thank
Good
you.
morning, Clark. Who you with?
I'm with you, fool.
Look, she gonna say good morning,
That's
Clark.
right,
Who you
Clark.
with? He don't even get to
All
say
right,
it.
Michelle.
Man, yes.
Okay, so now I texted you. So when you see me text you today, do you mind please calling me because I have something I need to talk to you about now over there.
Okay, now.
Hey, I got you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
All right. Thank you,
Y'all
Angela,
have
for
a
your
good
call.
day.
You still didn't
Yes,
answer
ma'am.
the Muffin Man.
Thank you.
I did
Hey,
say Goodbye.
Bye, Angela.
Don't go
Jermaine,
there. Don't go there.
I swear to God, when we go off the air, I'm gonna tap your head. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate the call. You so irritating.
I just need to know.
You are so
I
irritating.
don't know if I'm the only one that knows the Muffin Man.
Your mom and them done pushed you off on everybody
did.
else,
They did.
and we shouldn't have to
I'm
deal
coming
with
back
this.
home.
Go home.
Like the prodigal son.
Your sisters, them listening, they know. Like everybody else got to deal because they didn't do what they were supposed to do at the house. We ain't got time for this. All right, y'all. I got to take a break. I ain't going to the
You ain't gonna
phone.
take it?
No,
You might as well get out the way.
I am irritated.
Don't wait. Woosah. Just take this call.
Let me go to the phone. Now. You, my son, Lena, Angela. Who is
This
this?
cat sound like he's a horse.
Hello.
Hey now,
Who is this?
this is Ivy, Mr.
Oh.
Moore,
What's up, Mr. Moore?
the fishing man.
What's going on, bro? How you doing this morning?
I'm good, but I can't get it out of my mind.
What?
I went and had my car fixed, my radiator, transmission radiator went out right. Took it up over here on 71st and Fond du Lac. You know, I love my truck. You feel me?
I got you.
I spend money on the oil. So I get me an $8 oil filter. You feel me? Go get my truck after they done the work. I'm like, okay. I know it says 70,000 miles. I'll change it out. So I goes up under the hood, just check the oil. I looks down. That ain't my oil filter. I'm like, "Huh?" So I call these people like, man, did y'all change my oil or something? Oh, no, we didn't touch your oil. None of that. So I'm thinking like, okay, if they didn't change my oil, these people must have swapped my engine.
Oh, no.
So my engine, I keep my engine up neat. Is this engine like making noise, and I don't want to go up there and do nothing to these people. So I need to find or go to Toyota and get my block serial number.
Yeah.
And if it ain't the same, I'm 52 years old. I'm gonna crash out.
No. Hold on. Question. So the car that you have, so you can actually go to the dealership and have them check the engine number and see if that number match your vehicle. Because if it don't
That's
match
what he
the
just
vehicle,
said.
yeah, because then you can actually have them give you the paperwork. You can go up to the place and then you'll have some type of legal ground to stand on because you got proof that this is not your engine.
Yeah, that's what he just said.
I'm gonna do that today then,
because that's what the serial
it just
number.
been bothering me.
Yeah, no, Jermaine, and like I said, that's what I heard you say. You was gonna go check to get the serial number, get the paperwork on the vehicle, and then it ain't no need to snap out.
Yeah,
all you gotta do is get an attorney. There's no need to do all of that. You know, because it's a whole bunch of reasons to go to jail. This ain't one of them. Get follow up. You know, like you said, like Jermaine is saying, get the paperwork on what that engine serial number should be, and then do the comparison. Things don't line up, then, you know, get them an opportunity to address it. If they still BSing, we can get you attorney Mark Thompson here at the radio station, or find you somebody to do this on your behalf, and you'll end up with more, you know, hopefully, than what you could have done on your own individually. But nah, bro, it's a whole bunch of things to go to jail for and snap out on. This ain't one.
Right, you're right.
Just take care of it. But yeah, start there. Keep us posted. And if you find out it's not the name, I mean not the numbers don't line up on the engine, call us back so we know. So when people talk about where they're going to do their business, they know who to stay away from.
Most definitely.
All right. I'm sorry that's going on, but keep us posted, okay?
Most definitely, because I've got to stand 10 toes down.
Yeah, absolutely.
You done raped my girl.
Real talk.
Okay, that's
no.
As
a man, when you
I appreciate it, but as a woman,
it becomes Bessie.
As a woman, while this is a understood metaphor,
well, she shaped my.
For people who have experienced it, we not gonna equate the two. Okay. But all right, bro, keep us posted, okay?
Michelle,
all right. Thank you, fam.
Will you answer this question, please?
Yes. What question?
On the screen.
What did it say? I can't see it.
Good morning, Michelle. Where's your hat today?
Oh, on the chair. On the chair. Yep, it's over on the chair. But I ain't wear a full hat. I wore a band today.
You know, when you wear your hair like that, Chef.
We're gonna go to break. We're gonna go to break.
Why the deep
to the folks on Facebook and YouTube? What up, players? How y'all doing this morning? Appreciate y'all checking in and checking on my wardrobe. I do. I appreciate it. Yeah. Let's go to break. I need to regroup. We'll be right back. All right, family, welcome back to the show. So let me tackle a couple of stories that are out there this morning. One of which is I want to, just say kudos to the young people over at Rufus King High School. I saw that during their lunch hour on yesterday that the students took to the streets to protest what they see by way of ICE immigration enforcement overreach. And a young student, and I'm going to see if I can pull the article up. But a young student at Rufus King spearheaded, the students' activism, and they interviewed a number of students to ask them why they were out there, why they were participating. And the young people talked about, equality and wanting to see people treated fairly. The young student who organized it, I believe she was Hispanic Latina, but and it was freezing cold yesterday. And a number of young kids on their lunch break, they went outside. They left the school, came down to Capitol Drive. I think they went to Green Bay and then came back. But they had their signs. It was organized, and it was inspiring to see that folks are paying attention. The student in particular who led the rally, she talked about having family members who seems that they may have self-deported to keep the family from being disbanded, or to have people taken to some place that they knew nothing about. We've seen folks being sent to countries that they are not affiliated with in any way, only to learn that these people are being severely abused once they get to these places. And that's the part I can't figure out. Like, why, even though it's ignorant for Trump to be sending people to countries that they are not affiliated with, okay? But what is up with these countries that are receiving these people that are then in turn abusing them? Like, what the heck is wrong with people? So I just kudos. I appreciate that the young people decided to walk out. I know that on the South Side, kids over at Reagan School, I believe it was, they also walked out. So let me just see. So they said about 100 students from Rufus King International High School on the north side chanting "No justice, no peace, no ICE in our streets," trudged about 2 miles. And then students over at Reagan High School, Dominican High School, and West Allis Central High School also staged walkouts later in the afternoon. In Menasha, about 100 students walked out there. So the protests followed demonstrations against ICE at other Milwaukee area high schools this January. Wauwatosa East High School had demonstrations. Shorewood High School had demonstrations. And coming off the Renee Good shooting, we know we had Keith Porter, the first of the year. A number of young people are impacted and are watching, and without fail, just like so many major movements of our time, it has been young people that have been willing to step out there, risk a lot to be engaged. And so again, hats off to these students who felt the need to be engaged, to make their voices heard. One of the students specifically said, quote, "Witnessing all the families being torn apart, the people that are murdered by federal government agents has really torn apart my heart." This was said by Thaddeus Hilliard Jr., who is a senior at Rufus King High School, said he was saddened by deportations and federal actions that target immigrants without legal status. He said, when I see the people in charge trying to rip apart our very nation, our community, and our togetherness, it really lights a fire within me to come and say something about it. You go ahead on, child. You go ahead on. There will be a number of people that will not get engaged, sit at home, shake their head, man, that's messed up, and do nothing about it. So again, kudos to these young people. Children of all races, all ethnicities participated, and people pay attention. You keep being active. You keep putting your voice out there. You keep doing what you feel is right, because that's the only way that change happens. So again, I want to take my hat off to these students. While I am talking about students, let me also take a moment to mention a situation that happened with a student who is differently abled, a student that is in a wheelchair. And let me see if I can find this story real quick. I was looking at it a moment ago. But a parent back took a video that was taken in 2003 when her 4-year-old child was basically isolated from students participating in a program at school. And I'm just trying to see if I can find the specific story. I'll find it. But she happened to be at this program. She came in and she saw that her child in the wheelchair was just sitting off to the side watching all the other kids participate in this program. And so, and this is here. This is in Wisconsin, about 130 miles from Green Bay, Wisconsin. And so the mom became incensed. You know, she didn't like the treatment that her child was receiving. And she made the decision to pull her child out of school and homeschool her child. But she posted the video. So school officials started to get heat from people who viewed the video, which has now had over 11 million views. And the school officials contacted the mom and told her they needed her to take that video down because they were being targeted and harassed and people were threatening the school. And you could clearly see teachers, you could see children, excuse me. And so they wanted her to remove it. The mom wouldn't remove it. So then they sent the police to her house and they basically were accusing her of harassment and disturbing the peace or some other charge. I don't know what it was. And so the police came and they asked her to take it down. She said no. Then the police chief of this area came and then she made the video private. But then later, after she thought about it, she, changed it back to making it a public video. And so now this woman is in the throes of a lawsuit with the school because the school didn't like the way they were portrayed, that this child that was differently abled was not included in the activity, but just sat in their wheelchair and off to the side and being ignored. But the thing that I couldn't help but smile about when I read the story is that, and this is diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's the equity part. That's the inclusion part. So when people are rallying, on the conservative side of the aisle to talk about getting rid of anything that's connected to diversity, equity, inclusion, like all that means is I'm going to mess over Black people. I'm going to mess over brown people. You're messing over all people. There are white people with disabilities that are differently abled. There are folks from every socioeconomic status that are impacted. This is not just about low income. It's not about poverty. Anybody can have MS. Anybody can have autism. Anybody can have any of the things that require you to have different services, different things made available to you, and that it be done across an equitable situation. And I know the Republicans said, oh no, we'll be looking at stuff that if you have a need, we can address the need. But as I brought up yesterday, if we have to figure out why there are so many disparities along racial lines in this state, in everything from healthcare to home ownership to incarceration to just whatever the things are, there may need to be, Black the task force for missing Black girls and women and children. You may need to do a targeted, specific approach to studying a situation. And you have white conservative men in this country who are trying to make anything you say about somebody other than a white person illegal. Black the fake construct of race of black has now become basically an illegal word. And you see all these companies running away from anything that speaks to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so that story just caught me, because the mother shows this clip. People go crazy. They get upset. They contact the school. But I wondered how many of them damn people was Trump supporters. Because you upset about this baby in this wheelchair being treated differently. But how many of those people that was calling the school and threatening people, which made me think they was Trump supporters, because usually Trump's, they'd be the first ones threatening people, didn't understand that when you talk about dismantling programs to take differences into account, to make accommodations because of differences, that's under the umbrella of diversity, equity, and inclusion. So it's important to say that, because I don't think, like, somebody hit me up and they said, it also includes veterans, seniors, those who are vision impaired, etc. Absolutely. And Republicans think they can put everybody under a catch-all. Whatever the need is, we'll address the need. Sometimes you can't, just like the whole situation that's happening with the brothers in the military. And, silly Pete Hegseth telling folks that if you can't get your skin as a black person to the point that you can shave, be clean shaven, then you're not going to be able to stay in the military. Because that's a white boy standard. But black men have a very specific situation. Not all, but a whole lot of them. My ex-husband was one of them. In corporate America, they expected him to come to work with a clean shaven face every day. Oh my God, the bumps on this man's face was sickening. It looked like he had a rash all over him. He had to get a doctor's excuse. I cannot shave put a razor on my face every day as a man of color. It will not work for me. And he had to keep, going back and forth with people about the ability to come to work with razor 5 o'clock shadow some days. So we're going to deny somebody military service. We need people on the battlefield. We need people willing to risk their life on behalf of this country. And you mean to tell me you would disqualify somebody from doing that because their skin is unique and will not allow them to put a razor on it every day? And I want to be clear, a razor on your skin is not a natural thing. What you're doing to your face is unnatural. It is not a natural thing. But people put in place these self-imposed, made-up, silly rules, aesthetic things that are pleasing to white folks, and everybody else got to fall in line. But that is a real issue in terms of diversity, equity, and inclusion when you think about your policies in the workplace and how there is a group of people that cannot do on a regular basis what you're asking them to do because it looked pretty to you. Has no ability and impact on the job itself. Whether I got facial hair or not has nothing to do with my ability to fly a plane, to be able to execute a mission, to teach other soldiers how to do their job. Nothing to do with it. All of this is made up nonsense. Now, I ain't say you out here with a full bushwhacker beard, but 5 o'clock shadow is not upsetting anybody. Except this doesn't look the way we want it to look. And who gets to define the standard of what something should look like? So it's important to say that this morning. The other thing that I will say, since we're talking about education real quick and young people and school, is the Milwaukee School Board, or a committee on the school board, is moving forward with the plan, according to an article in the Journal Sentinel, to narrow police roles in schools. So I told you all that there were going to be meetings about the SROs in schools and what That whole situation was supposed to look like, helping parents understand what was happening. Well, now how police operate in our schools seem like it's about to change. A Milwaukee School Board committee on yesterday passed a resolution to narrow the types of situations that police officers can become involved in inside district buildings. This is 10 months after the program was brought into the schools, forced by the Republicans with their laws that, you know, you had to put these officers back in the school system after the school district voted not to have them there because they have their own safety officers. So the resolution, they say, compels the superintendent, Brenda Casilius, to implement a district policy that reflects its ask, which broadly restricts police from intervening in non-criminal situations that more closely reflect school discipline issues, like rude or disruptive behavior or loitering in hallways. And that's like, I agree with that. Why would the police be talking to a student because a student is being rude? Why would the police be talking to a student because you in the hallway? You know, they got school officers, security officers to deal with that. The journal sent a review of the first 3 months of the program found police were at times responding to situations just like that, along with those that included fights between students. School resource officers issued 92 citations in a 3-month period of time. Without clear and strict guardrails, it's easy for SROs to become the default response to all behavior challenges, is what the school board president, Missy Zomber, said. So the school board's Committee on Legislation, Rules, and Policies moved the resolution forward, and the full board is going to vote on this tomorrow, okay? Under the resolution, police will be expected to stay out of the following situations: rude or disruptive behavior, excessive noise, loitering in hallways or bathrooms, dress code violations, use of profane or lewd language, and possession of legal items prohibited by the school. So you got your earbuds, you're not supposed to have them. Your cell phone, you're not supposed to have them. There's no need to have the police get involved because, again, the police are able to issue tickets to these children. Unpaid tickets result in driver's license never being issued or suspended. All kinds of things can happen. So I appreciate that there's going to be a vote about putting parameters on what exactly police can be involved in these schools. And I think that you got to be careful because teachers can default to the police rather than the usual mechanisms in a school to deal with behavior. And we criminalize what kids have been doing every day in schools since the beginning of time. You've always had some kids that's rude. You've always had some profanity in schools. You've always had knuckleheads that loiter in the hallways. Those are not things that rise to police engagement. So I am very, very appreciative that somebody is being thoughtful about this. Before the meeting, a demonstration consisting of about 35 students and community members took place outside the district office. They said they chanted counselors, not cops, and up with education, down with intimidation was some of the chants that they were engaged in. So I just want to say again, students showing up to represent themselves, to voice their opinions. Some of the students present: Burnett Tooney, Elijah Shorts, Annalise Schultz, or some of the kids that were out there. They are a part of a group called Youth Empowered in the Struggle. So go ahead on, babies. Y'all got your own group. Some of the kids were from Hamilton High School. And one of the students, she said that her school has become a very scary place since the SROs have been put back in the building. So since the police have been back in her schools, she said, quote, "I have never seen them do something actually helpful in school at all," is what she talked about. So members of Voices de la Frontera, Milwaukee's Turner, Black Leaders Organizing for Communities, Block, they all spoke in support of the resolution. So again, there are folks keeping their eye on what's going on with these officers, and it's appreciated. Before we have a situation that gets out of hand or control, it's appreciated. Let me go to the, we good. We're all right on the phone. All right. So I wanted to make sure I got that in. And then let me tell you about a meeting that is happening tonight. Okay. If you live on the northwest side of Milwaukee, Alderwoman Larissa Taylor put out a press release on yesterday inviting neighbors to attend a community meeting and open house regarding the future development of the former Northridge Mall. The meeting is going to take place today from 5 to 7 p.m. at 7800 West Brown Deer Road. So I'm not sure what that building is or what the place is. So you need to know the address. 7800. So that's 78th and Brown Deer Road. 7800 West Brown Deer Road. Representatives from the Department of the City Development will join Alderwoman Taylor for the open house. A brief presentation is going to happen at 5:30. There'll be some light refreshments. I know some of y'all be coming after work. And the city of Milwaukee and its partners are working to facilitate a new development at the 58-acre site. Hopefully something that's going to benefit the Granville neighborhood, city of Milwaukee, and the state. An initial, what they call vision report, was released in December to outline public perceptions, market opinions, and the economic potential of various land use and development scenarios. So community members and other interested parties are encouraged to attend to learn about the report, provide your own feedback, and help shape the future of this important site. Those wanting to learn more and stay up to date on the project, you can visit this website, engage.milwaukee.gov/Northridge. So you can go there online to get information, engage.milwaukee.gov/Northridge. But this meeting is happening from 5 to 7 p.m., 7800 West Brown Deer Road, and the meeting presentation starts at 5:30. We got a caller, Jay? Let's get them in. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
I was listening to you, and you were using a word. What was it? Differently challenged.
Differently abled.
Differently able. This is why are we changing all the differently able, unalive, unhoused? Why are we? And the stuff sound backwards. Why are we going to this whole culture change?
So let's take one quick second. So one of the things that they understand is that words have power and they have meaning. And when you begin to use certain terms, it removes the humanity from people. So just like the fact that people are becoming educated and no longer referring to Black people as who were living during the period of slavery as slaves, because you remove the humanity. So they say enslaved people versus just saying slaves. When you say, when people say unhoused, because when you say homeless conjures up all kinds of things in your mind. Dirty, disheveled, something wrong with you. And it doesn't get to the heart of the fact that for some of these people, it's just a matter of, I can't afford housing. I am in a situation where I am not able to afford to pay to live somewhere. So people begin to try to use words that better capture the issue than these blanket statements that we've become comfortable doing that removes the humanity and respect for people along the way. But go ahead.
Okay. But now that would contradict everything you just said about the school kids. When you just said they've been doing this since time began. Why do we need certain authorities in our schools doing certain things to our children when they've been talking back? They've been cussing. They've been doing everything besides wearing earbuds and cell phones forever. Right?
But how does that contradict that?
Because it's an age-old behavior that don't change. And here, not you, but the people that are on the, I would say, woke side are coming in, changing things.
What are they changing? Because we have not used police to deal with everyday adolescent behavior.
I get that.
And so that's what these people are arguing.
But you just said out your mouth that they've been doing this, some of this stuff. It's age old.
Right.
So
and we haven't used the police ever to deal with it. Right.
Okay, so it's been an age old thing with us saying, he's homeless, I'm homeless. That boy got killed.
It's not the same thing, because now you're talking about terminology. We are
That's
supposed
exactly-
to grow
when
and
you say
evolve.
terminology and
Just like
behavior-
the way people, somebody just pointed out, the way we started talking about folks that are justice impacted versus labeling everybody a felon, because we understand what that F hanging around somebody's neck has meant for them. So it's nothing wrong with people becoming educated and understanding the impact of their. That's like we don't call people retarded anymore. You know, because
why? What is it?
because you realize that you are lumping everybody into a category and the negative implications that come with that. So you try to speak more intelligently about an issue.
But who realized it?
Thank God. Like people that pay attention, people that study, people that work with these populations, people that realize the impact that people go through.
Would it be white people?
It could be anybody. Anybody that works in these different arenas with people.
Okay. And then there's one, I think it's white Democrats, but it's okay.
White Democrats? Well, you know.
I would like to ask one more question before I get out of here.
Go ahead. Somebody said Beach is retarded.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm cool with it. They call me that because most of them is probably slower than I'm. It's slower than me.
Go ahead with your point, Meech. What you want to say? What you want to say?
I hear you doing a lot of chattering, but I never hear you chatter about the situation in Minnesota with the Somalian lady that actually raped not a whole Somalian community, because I know some Somalians. They are upset at her because she came in doing what black people do, okay? Doing what black folk do, not understanding that she don't have the capability.
What Somalian lady? Who are you talking about?
You know, the old Congress girl that stole all the money over there in Minnesota. You know what I'm talking
about. I don't. Please educate the community. What are you talking about?
Okay. Well, why is ICE? Okay. Well, listen. You don't know what's going on.
You don't. Are you talking about the white woman that was the leader of the ring of the daycare fraud? Is that what you're talking about? The white lady? Is that what you're talking about? And yeah, some Somalians got caught up in it, but you're not talking about her, are you? Are you talking about the white lady? No, she's not involved. She was the ring leader.
Okay, she cut me off now because I'm finna make a point.
She's not involved, bruh. She orchestrated it. Let
me tell you how she's involved.
She's the queen. Like, oh my God.
Let me tell you how she's involved.
Woo, child. And then she's not a congresswoman.
Well, what is she? Omar,
I keep telling you. So you said Ilhan Omar stole money?
No, what she did is she's made sure that the fact, get this, see, most of the Congress people, the port get back home. And then once the port gets, let's have a real conversation.
I'm trying, but if you don't have the information, it's hard to do that with somebody who got a bunch of misinformation.
You have the information.
You said the congresswoman who stole the money.
You're supposed to have the information because
these are your points, though. At least be able to back up your points. That's all I'm asking.
I'm asking you a question. I've heard you talk about it, but you haven't spoke upon none of the fraud there in Minnesota. And it bothers me.
Why? Because the story is over 2 years old. That's number one. The story is, yes, it is. This prosecutions happened under Joe Biden's administration. This story goes back well before 2023. A white conservative decides to make a video and put it out, and everybody's up in arms. But cases had already been prosecuted. This is all created nonsense. That's why I'm not talking about it, because this is old.
So you think the money that they are uncovering that it's been used. So now you didn't have this problem when they did our city like that, when they wiped out all of our
Meech, all I am saying is that, number one, this is not a current situation.
Yes,
this is not. No, it's not. It's not happening in real time. Many of these cases have already been prosecuted. This is something that a white MAGA supporter did to stir up everybody and get folks into a tizzy. But prosecutions happened under the Biden administration.
It's Democrats in that city right now that's upset about it. But one thing about it is that none of this would have actually transpired had the girl kept her mouth shut, that's sending the pork back
That's
home.
not true. That's not true. None of it would have transpired if the white woman hadn't created the fraud.
How are they getting the money from
Let's not overlook who starts it, the white lady in Minnesota, and then she enlists other people to go along with the scheme.
Well,
and then it gets prosecuted. People find out about it. Cases get prosecuted under the current the governor, Keith Ellison, and the feds. They've all been on time. Donald Trump them have not prosecuted anybody in connection to Minnesota fraud. Nobody.
Okay, listen. Do you think for 1 minute that these people are going to sit by the Minnesotans and just let this happen? Do you think that? Whether you're Democrat or Republican.
Let what happen, Meech?
Well, this is what we got to do. I just want to hear.
Let what happen? You just asked the question. Do you think Minnesotans are going to sit back and let this happen? Let what happen?
I got exactly what I thought.
Let what happen, Meech?
Well, where's the money coming from?
Oh my God, Jesus!
Where's the money coming from?
Once again, I gotta let you go because once again, you don't know what you're talking about.
Where the money? You know where the money?
Once again, by Meech, because these are simple requests. These are just very simple, Googleable requests. Know what you're talking about when you call. You cannot just take the talking points of your Republican comrades and run with it. You conflate information and facts all the time. You never have the full story. You frequently got, wrong players. You started off, the Congresswoman stole all that money. What you talking about? And the Somalians did this. But that's not who was the ringleader. And that's quietly always overlooked when everybody get on their roll. It's real simple, bro. I don't have a problem engaging, but I can't keep engaging on dumb stuff. Go back and understand when convictions happened. Please do. Let me take a break. And when we come back, I'll mention something briefly about the convictions, but I'm not giving airtime to something that is not a current and existing problem in Minnesota right now. I'm just not going to give airtime to it because I know why the story was put out there, which is to do exactly what we're doing right now. And then you see Somalians all over this country being impacted in terms of immigration, visa access, I forgot the classification that makes them safe to be in this country. All of that stripped away because somebody wanted to be racist and play games and make Somalians the face of corruption in America when we already know that this is an isolated situation. And if you know anything about it, it's been responded to. And recent checks have shown that these daycares are all operating as expected and as they are supposed to. So I'm not getting upset about something that happened in 2023. I'll be right back. All right, family. So I said before I went to the break, because the caller brought up Minnesota, Minneapolis, the fraud situation involving Somalians in the community, and why I haven't really talked about it. And one of the things that I've said is that, number one, that this case is not a new case. That, number two, I cannot stand the fact that the ringleader, the mastermind, if you will, of this fraud case that actually is connected to COVID-19 dollars goes back to a 45-year-old white woman by the name of Amy Bach. And, so folks fully understand. Amy Bach, a white woman, identified by federal prosecutors as the mastermind behind a program called Feeding Our Future, a Minnesota-based nonprofit at the center of what has been described as the largest COVID-19 pandemic-era fraudulent scheme in the United States. The scheme, prosecutors allege that Bach and her co-conspirators stole roughly $250 million in federal funds intended to feed hungry children. Bach was the founder and executive director of Feeding Our Future and was accused of approving fake meal site applications, allowing participants to misuse funds for luxury cars, real estate, and international travel. In early 2026, a jury convicted Bach on all 7 counts she faced, including wire fraud, federal programs bribery, and conspiracy. While the majority of the approximately 70 to 80 people charged in the broader ongoing investigation are members of Minnesota's Somalian American community, Bach was identified as the key figure who structured the organization to facilitate the fraud. Now, of course, she has, I ain't do it, blah, blah, blah. But many of the convictions happened under the Biden administration. Walz and Keith, the governor, and Keith Ellingson, the attorney general for the state of Minnesota, had already been actively engaged in going after this. So all of this, hooping and hollering from Republicans about fraud, but they'll never trot that white woman's face out there. When they showing the Somalians, they ain't never got her face posted up on nothing at the top of the pyramid scheme to say grand organizer. You'll never see her. Just like Brett Favre Raggedy was able to steal all that money from the welfare program down in Mississippi, so his daughter's school could get a new soccer field or whatever kind of athletic field he was building. This man who has all the access in the world could have tapped any number of his personal acquaintances, former colleagues, industry people, corporations to say, hey, I'm trying to build a soccer field for my daughter's school. But instead, he worked with officials in the state of Mississippi to steal welfare money intended to feed hungry people. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. But ain't nobody dragging Brett Favre's behind. Ain't nobody dragging this white woman for real, Amy Bach. Her face is never in none of the news stories on TV. When Trump them is trotting out who did what, Somali, bring your girl. Include her photo. So no, Meech, you're not going to get me to jump up and down about the black-looking Somalians who did X, Y, and Z, because I know what's happening. This is another racial wedge to justify the behavior of ICE and immigration policies in this country that do not work. No, I'm not falling for the okie doke. I don't have to talk about it, because if you're going to talk about it, then tell all of it. Everybody conveniently leaves out the white chick. Tell all of it. So now, black folks steal. We didn't create that system. It was all done under her company. And she got convicted on all counts, waiting to be sentenced. Now the big surprise is going to be how much time this white girl get versus how much time some of the Somalians who have been involved in it get. Because they didn't orchestrate it. They didn't set it up. It wasn't their idea. They got tapped and pulled into it. And they was like, oh, okay, this looks like a come up. I'm in. So we're going to see if the Somalians get more time than the white girl who orchestrated and created the whole scam. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening? Hello?
Hey, how's it going, Sister Michelle?
It's all right. How you doing this morning, bro?
I'm doing good. Hey, I'm just loving the show. I'm listening to you. And I was like, with the Somalians, that's the distraction to try to keep them from just thinking ISIS with the Latinos. But it's just the spread to the black and brown community. But to your point, we talk about fraud and we talk about all of this like miscarriage of justice. We just got to keep the alarm on Donald Trump. Because when you talk about fraud, him and his family can't even run nonprofits anymore because they stole so much money. You talk about Brett Favre, you talk about what the Trumps have stole. He's a 34-time convicted felon. We all know that. We know that they still ain't released the Epstein file. That's why they're doing all this, because we ain't even talked about that anymore. But we know that the real estate, what he did back in New York, all of the things that he's done with his bankruptcies, robbing people. And when I think we get to all of these things, what we have to do in psychology, we always talk about a term called projection. That means if I see something in me, I'm going to automatically point to it in the other people to deflect it from me. So when we see these things, what we got to do is keep raising the alarm. And I know, to your point, that we say this stuff with Donald Trump and the rules don't apply, but we got to make these rules apply, and we can't let people forget. So whenever they talk about fraud, whenever they try to talk about some type of conforming to another part for people doing something mischievous, we got to let them know that the commander-in-chief is the number one person who does this, and he's not done it for just one cycle like Favre and this lady that you just talked about from Minnesota, but he's been doing this for decades. And I'm gonna leave it there.
No, thank you, bruh. I appreciate that comment. That whole keep your eye on the prize situation, because that's exactly what it becomes. And I do agree that a lot of this stuff is distractions, but some of it is just outright mean-spiritedness too. Some of it is just actual racism on full display. While the administration may have their set of motives for why they do it, other folks that come to the table and champion and rally and push this agenda, they have very different reasons. And I think we got to be conscientious of all of it. But without doubt, I appreciate the book that Clay Kane wrote about the grift. But more specifically, Donald Trump is one of the biggest, beneficiaries of his job title that the presidency has ever seen. When we go back and look at the kind of money and access, they did all of that mess about Hunter Biden and introducing some people to his daddy, but the Trump family and Jared Kushner have been able to operate completely, without any restrictions, any questions about business deals, why these people at the table. In many cases, Jared Kushner is in rooms that elected officials are not in. And this man has no official role with the United States government whatsoever, other than your daddy-in-law is the president of the United States. And Jared Kushner's background does not dictate that he is any genius in foreign diplomacy and deal negotiations. And there's nothing that's being done that they do not have a private eye towards how can we come up, whether we're talking about Gaza and Palestinians not being included in the conversation about the rebuilding of Gaza, whether we're talking about Greenland and we keep saying it's something else at play why Donald Trump is hell bent on trying to get his hands on Greenland. He stands up yesterday in this dang near 2-hour press conference about his first year in office and says that, there's no going back on going after Greenland. Why? Why is there no going back? But then some people start asking the questions, just like I'm asking. No, it's something else you want in Greenland. It's not about national security. Why is this on your radar so tough? And why is it immediate? It must happen because people trying to get it done during his tenure. One of the things that got put forward is there are some tech giants who are big Trump supporters who have been doing work in Greenland since 2019. And they actually made a proposal to try to get Greenland several years ago. These folks now have Donald Trump's ear. So is Donald Trump doing somebody else's bidding? And what's in it for him? And I can go back. I think one of the companies' name is Praxis. Another company. I'll pull up those companies, real quick while I got a break this morning. But eventually we will get to the bottom of what this whole Greenland thing is about. And so when you have folks that are sitting back saying now, as he comes up with this silly border peace and trying to charge people $1 billion to be members, and then wants to name himself not just the president or the leader of the border peace, he wants to have that title for the rest of his life. So you wouldn't even be the president of the United States anymore, but you're going to be the head of this, quote, board of peace until you die. And who has signed on? Silly Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu. Because, Israel don't get to do some of the stuff they do without the fight and the might of the United States military and the United States government backing them. So Benjamin Netanyahu don't have no choice but to play ball with Donald Trump. Other countries have said, are you crazy? Why would we agree to be a part of something that does not provide equal power to all of the players at the table, and that you, an individual, Donald Trump, gets to be the president of this body until you die? Like, you crazy as hell. That's what these people have basically said. So I got a couple people who are on hold. I need to take a break as well. So let me do this. If you can hold through the break, please do. Let me take the break. We'll be right back, y'all. All right, family, welcome back. I got some callers to help through the break, so let me get them in. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
Oh, good, George. How you doing this morning?
Good. 3 quick questions for you.
Okay.
I was on hold, so I couldn't. When you're on hold, you can't really hear the conversation anymore.
Right.
But when I came back on, it sounded like you was talking about this peace thing that the red man on the orange man is trying to do.
Right.
Now, isn't the buy-in? Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the buy-in $1 billion?
Yes, it is for lifetime membership.
Okay, so has he ever put tariffs on Israel? That you know of?
Let me. I'll look while you talking. Go ahead.
Because I don't really remember him putting any tariffs on Israel. And under every administration, haven't they been giving Israel money?
Israel is a line item in the United States budget.
So the $1 billion that you just said, Netanyahu that's just giving our money back. That's what it sounds like. Because where are they getting the $1 billion from?
Well, number one, I can't even imagine why we would be getting any of the money anyway, because these organizations, number one, it's a stupid idea. That's just number one.
Exactly.
But why would the countries give their money to the United States? Like, why? But to your question, Donald Trump imposed tariffs on stuff imported from Israel, but it was a part of a broad tariffs in 2025. So 17%, then it got adjusted to 15%, shocking Israeli officials. But yeah, so they got caught up when he did the general across the board, everybody gonna get tariffs. That's how Israel got caught up in that.
Okay, so thanks for correcting me.
Okay.
And I'm not, and this is the other thing, I'm not trying to be funny when I say this, but he can't focus. And I was wondering, do you think that, because he always says he's like 49, but I don't believe that he might have early onset dementia or Alzheimer, because it seems like his reasoning and his focus is all over the place. So when you just ask him what, he couldn't simply answer. He jumps all over the place when you ask him questions. It don't seem like he can focus on the question that you're answering him. So I'm just wondering, maybe that brother might need to go get looked at, because that sounds like he might have some issues with his brain.
I certainly believe that.
And I'm not trying to be funny either.
I mean, you're not. And I think a lot of people have already, alluded to the fact that they have seen enough visually with Donald Trump to be concerned about.
No, I ain't talking about Donald Trump.
Who you talking about?
I'm talking about me.
Oh, bye, George.
No, I'm not trying to be funny, Michelle. I'm being serious.
No wonder you kept saying I'm not trying to be funny. I'm thinking you talking about, hey, no, it ain't nothing wrong with Meech, other than he like to be an agitator. It ain't nothing wrong with Meech. He just is an agitator. That's it. Meech
because he sound like the red man. He cannot focus.
Meech got good sense. He just, he got busy. He don't all have all the information. He don't always have all the facts. But it ain't nothing wrong with him. He just chooses to be on the other side of ignorance. Thanks, George. I appreciate the call, bro. We got another caller. I'm all ready to do my Trump diagnosis. Meech, let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening? Hello?
Hey, Michelle, how's it going?
It's going, man. How you doing this morning?
Not too bad. So I do want to chime in with the Greenland situation.
Please.
But I don't know if you got to look at what I sent you a little while back with the whole Venezuela situation.
I actually did get to look at some of that, but go ahead.
But this is just another play by the untouchable community. And, also, if most people don't know that there was a coup on Ibrahim Traoré the same time the whole Venezuela thing went down. These people just want global domination, and this small subset of people want global domination. I was listening to a speaker yesterday talk about possibly deploy for Greenland, and so they want to push Europe, and they know that if Europe turns on the U.S., because most people think for some weird reason Israel is one of our biggest allies, but they have never contributed one troop to any of the wars that we've been in. So I don't know how they're an ally outside of just giving us strategic stuff in the area. And we've been doing the bidding for them since the overthrow of the Democratic elected president in Iran in the 50s. But they want the U.S. to get turned on by the Europe nation. And who are the Europeans going to turn to in NATO when it comes to military? They're not going to go to Russia. They're not going to go to China. The only people that they can go to is Israel. And then they're going to be, quote unquote, the ally while we're the odd man out. And so I wish which is a reach that most of these elected officials that are beholden to this untouchable community will look at the greater domination, what they're trying to do, versus just getting their palms waxed with donations and political aspirations.
Okay.
But that's the frustrating part about the whole thing. But I can send you that. But it's really interesting. I don't know. We just have to see how it plays out. But I think that might be the play for Greenland.
Okay, let me offer up something. Thank you, bro. I appreciate the perspective and the thought, because as I keep saying, so many other people keep saying, we've got to get to the bottom of this. So there is an article that appeared in Forbes magazine on January 8th, I think, maybe the 6th or the 8th. And the title of the article says, "These billionaires bet big on Greenland after Trump took interest." So Ronald Lauder, somebody had sent this to me just now, and ironically, I had already pulled it up. The heir to the Estee Lauder fortune is credited with giving Trump the idea of taking over Greenland during his first term. Former White House National Security Advisor John Bolton confirmed to Forbes. So remember, John Bolton, he was Trump's boy back then. In the first term, he in the room, Ronald Lauder, of Estee Lauder fortune, gives Trump the idea. Lauder has since invested, according to the Danish newspaper Politiken, in an unprofitable Greenlandic freshwater bottling company co-owned by Jorgen Waver Johansson, local chair of the governing Sayumut Party, and husband to Greenland's Minister of Foreign Affairs, raising concerns about political interference. Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Michael Bloomberg all have invested since 2019 in cobalt metals. Cobalt is spelled K-O-B-O-L-D, which has looked for valuable rare earth minerals used in electronic devices through AI-powered exploration of the island. Sam Altman, the OpenAI CEO, started investing in cobalt in 2022. Peter Thiel, the PayPal and Palantir tech titan, funded in early 2021 the startup Praxis, which aims to build a technologically advanced, quote, freedom city on the island. So they want to get Greenland and make their own ideal freedom city on this island where about 60,000 people currently live. Howard Lutnick, Trump's Secretary of Commerce, served as the CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald, which has invested in Greenland mining company Critical Metals Corp for over 30 years. He since divested and transferred his shares to his children. But there are all kinds of minerals, gold that is on this property in Greenland. And they're saying with the environmental changes, the global warming, that more of these minerals are being unearthed in Greenland, and people are trying to get their hands on them. So I'm just telling you, I realize the whole white superiority conversation. I realize, racial dominance. We will not be replaced. I appreciate all of that. But if Donald Trump is somewhere in the background, it's money on the table. I just believe it wholeheartedly. It is money always on the table. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense for Donald Trump. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning, Queen Sister.
What's going on, bro? How you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good. I just heard corned beef hash.
Man, I ain't had corned beef hash for breakfast in so long. Oh, you done said something. Okay.
It's with an egg on top. Okay?
Okay.
It's been great. Except for this thing that's bothering me that I have to ask you. I saw soldiers off big.
It's hard to understand you, bro. Are you on the speaker?
Oh, I'm sorry. I do that every day. Please
I heard you
forgive
say
me.
that yesterday. Okay.
With this Obama phone, I can't hear too good. Now I got it up against my ear. I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I saw soldiers from Finland
Yes.
getting off a big old fat plane in Greenland. Is this maggot in Washington stupid enough for money to attack Greenland and face the wrath of 32 countries of NATO? Is he stupid enough to do it for money?
Yes. Yes.
That was quick.
I don't have a long, thesis or dissertation for you. Yes. Yes. Because number one, they believe they have convinced themselves that America is the most powerful military force in the world and that they can bully their way into anything. What did Trump say? Any country that goes against me in my pursuit of Greenland, they're going to face the wrath, whether it is in tariffs or taxes or, whatever way they can feel that they can coerce and bully these people, they are going to face the wrath. So yes, he believes that it is completely worth it to do whatever he wants to. The man tore down the whole third of the White House and didn't ask nobody. And nobody said a thing.
Nothing.
So
are the 32 countries of NATO, are they going to attack the United States to stop him?
I'm going to say this. They're not going to attack, but they probably will defend. Okay. They are being put in place. And, because people understand this is exactly what Russia is doing to Ukraine. Mm-hmm. Exactly what Russia is doing to Ukraine. In that this is a sovereign nation, a sovereign entity. You just disrespecting these people and you just decide, I want their land. Now, what the reasons why Russia wants Ukraine is different than the reason why Trump wants Greenland, but the act is the same. And so other countries are like, look, if they'll do this to them, nothing stops him from trying to do this to us. And you gotta stand up or you're going to be on your knees. And people are just not willing to do it. And so there are some countries that are already like, nah, France, Macron, they like, get these soldiers sent over there. Get these pilots ready. Yeah, because, and this is the thing. If NATO and the documents that were signed mean anything, it is now being tested. These people have said, we in this together. If they come for you, we all gonna show up. Now they got to put up a shut up.
Article
or the
5.
whole thing falls apart.
Article 5, you attack one, you have attacked all.
That's right. And so whether, Trump is savvy enough and the people around him are able to convince him to understand the severity of what we are facing, no, these people are not going to back down. They can't, because then you can do it to us. The EU, everybody understands they're vulnerable. If you got to stand by yourself, and that's the other thing, because they all know, if we don't help Denmark in this fight over Greenland with the United States, because Denmark has the right to Greenland. If we don't help Denmark, then when they come for us, and everything indicates that Trump is not above coming for anybody, then who's going to stand there with us? So we got to do it. Even if I don't want to, even though I understand we could lose thousands of lives, you got to do it. So but Trump doesn't care.
He's willing to sacrifice all of them young American kids for money.
And and the thing is that he flip-flops, and thank you so much, bro, for the call. I'm going to try to get the last of this stuff in, but he flip-flops so much. So now he's over in Davos, which is in Switzerland. And, the plane had turned around. I got excited when they said the plane had to come back. I was like, maybe somebody had good sense and made him turn around, but it was technical problems. So he makes it over to Davos, Switzerland, and he's telling people, well, no, we won't use force. We won't use the military to take Greenland. Well, how else you gonna take it? You think you're gonna sanction everybody to death? No. The only way you get Greenland is by force. You're not gonna get Greenland through sanctions. You're not gonna get them through that. So all of that's a tale. All of that's a tale. And he over there lying in them people's face. Like people say, stop playing in my face. He is over there playing in people's faces. All right, let me do this. Let me bring up something that I tried to get to yesterday. Somebody texted me about it earlier. I said I was going to talk about it. And I just want to do this real quick. I know it's callers on hold, but I need to do this. The first finance reports have come out in the race for governor for the state of Wisconsin. Okay. One of the reasons a lot of crazy has been able to be put on hold is because we have divided government. We have a Democrat in the executive office, the governor. We have a Republican-controlled legislature, and we have a court that leans more liberal than conservative, okay? So we have divided government, which means that there usually are some checks and balances in the way this whole thing is done, okay? Everybody is watching this race. One of the things that I saw somebody said, we've never gone longer than 8 years and not had a Republican governor in Wisconsin. We are a 50-50 state. They call us a swing state or a purple state for a reason. We are pretty evenly divided in the state about our political affiliations, ideologies, beliefs. The independents help swing that pendulum back and forth one way or the other. So this governor's race is critical because if we are not able to flip seats in the legislature enough to get control of one of those houses, the Assembly or the Senate, then we continue to have a Republican-controlled legislature. If we have a Republican get seated as governor, then the only thing standing in the way on some things is the Supreme Court. But we have a Supreme Court race that will happen every year, I think, for the next 4 years. So the court is also in play. It's not a decided, we can breathe for 10 years right now. That's not the seat we're sitting in. So everybody's paying attention to the Wisconsin governor's race. We know fundraising reports just came out, and I got the press release from David Crowley's campaign team. I saw that come out first, and they were touting the fact that David Crowley had raised the most money of any Democrat, I should say, in the race for governor. And I'm looking real quick to see those early fundraising dollars. So Crowley was the top fundraiser. And this is for the period of July 1 through December 31st of 2025. And Crowley, who got into the race second, reported raising $789,000 in donations, had $602,000 in the bank. His total included $123,000 in contributions to his account that he transferred from his county executive account over into his campaign for governor. Okay. Sarah Rodriguez, who is the current lieutenant governor, she was the second leading fundraiser. She had $618,000. She was the first person to announce, and she is sitting on about $600,000 in the bank. Joel Brennan, who is with the Greater Milwaukee Committee, he's the president. He was the last person to get into the race. He raises $566, or he reports that he has $566,000 in contributions, $552,000 in the bank. So let's just take this top three for a second, okay? Rodriguez is in first. She raises $618,000 in 6 months. Crowley is in second. He raises $789,000, almost $800,000. Joe Brennan, who got in 45 minutes ago, he raises $566,000 in the race. Mandela Barnes, who also got in late, he raised $556,000 in donations, $471,000 in the bank. He got $50,000 from a political action committee that he's connected to at the federal level. Missy Hughes, she raises $465,000. She's out of the Evers administration from the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation, and she got $400,000 in the bank. Francesca Hong has she raised $369,000, got $135,000 in the bank. But she is the individual that had the largest number of individual contributions. So more people gave money to Francesca Hong than any other candidate. Kelda Royce comes in last. She raises $335,000, got $344,000 in the bank. She ran for governor against Evers back in 2018. So somebody said Joe Brennan has those Barrett backers. Trust. I appreciated the tone and tenor of County Executive Crawley's press team's, lens that they looked at the campaign contributions through. But I know they know that this race is getting ready to be a problem. This race is going to be tight going into this primary. Joe Brennan walks in off the street, last person to enter the race and raise that kind of money. Now, while it's not like the people are with Joe Brennan, and at the end of the day, it's the people that vote that's going to make the difference. I'm not crazy. I understand that. But the money that you need to get name ID, the money that you need to do messaging, the money that you need to have folks knocking doors and have a machine on the ground, that part is real. That's why everybody's trying to at least get to that magical $1 million number that they can say. That's why when we heard Mandela was going to get in the race, that people were already saying Mandela was coming to the table with $1 million, because you're trying to scare people. Because people know this is a money game. It's more than just, who's the best candidate, who got the most money to reach the most people to get their message out. It's a ton of good people who don't have the money to be in the race. So when y'all see the release from the county exec, applaud him for raising $789,000, but understand, you had way more time to raise money than Joe Brennan did. You had way more time to officially raise money than even Mandela did. Rodriguez, this ought to be a real bellwether for her. I just don't know about how nobody, elect her to be the governor anyway, but that's just me. Because I'm still tripping off of the short tenure as a state elected official before you decide to run for lieutenant governor. But that's everybody. People see these jobs, folks make it look easy. Oh, I can do that. And, I mean, how lofty are the responsibilities of a lieutenant governor anyway? Not really lofty. So it's like, okay. But now running the state and being the governor of the state, that's a different ball game. That's a different skill set. That's not the lieutenant governor. What you did as a lieutenant governor, in no way. And a lot of these people, they try to present the front like we did this together. No, y'all didn't. Not really. It was the governors. Whoever's the governor, they drive the plan. Whoever's the president, they drive the plan. Now, if you got a good governor or a good president, they include the lieutenant governor and they work as a team and they talk about vision together. But a lot of times the lieutenant governor is really just going along with what the governor is doing. A lot of times, if you don't have a governor that sees that role as something that you share in terms of governing the state. So these people are not, this is not going to be easy. Whichever candidate you supporting in this race, you're going to need to get connected to that candidate, get connected to their volunteer mechanism, their machines that they got in place. And I'm not pushing any candidate. I'm simply saying, on the Republican side, if you ask Tom Tiffany, $2.1 million, on hand. I think a lot of that was raised. I don't know how much was transferred in, but that number looks impressive. And it is impressive in terms of being able to do early messaging. But the minute the Democrats consolidate behind one candidate, those numbers will be on par. They'll be equal. Money is going to pour into this state. Emily's list is already announced. They're going to go hard and spend money in this state. But that's in terms of getting women elected to vote. Women elected to office. But I'm just telling y'all, don't see these numbers and get comfortable. Crawley got it. So-and-so, he had them. So-and-so was in a good position. All of this is tenuous. Everybody better be working. Everybody better call every person they know who they think might support them to get them to the table. There is no clear winner in this race yet. There is no clear choice in this race yet. And I'm not talking about choice in terms of who I like. I'm talking about choice in terms of who actually gonna get elected. Yeah. I had a moment. I said, I understand the spin, but I know the people that's doing finance for Crawley is looking at everybody's numbers and like, Joe Brennan about to be a problem. He about to be a problem. And for the folks who keep questioning whether or not the state of Wisconsin is ready for a woman or a person of color to be the governor of this state, the one thing I will say, this is the same state that elected Barack Obama twice. So it's not like we're unwilling to have a person of color in leadership. We've had Barbara Lawton be lieutenant governor. We've had Sarah Rodriguez be lieutenant governor. It's not like we are opposed to having people in leadership roles. But running the state is still running the state. So that's my 2 cents right now on the finance reports. We'll see on the next reporting go round. But nobody is in a solid position right now. Even though DC raised the most money, they on his heels. People who got in much later in a far less amount of time still had a respectable showing. $200,000 on one hand, it's a lot of money. On the other hand, it's not. On another hand, it's not. So I just want to say that. Can I grab this caller before I get out of here? Hey, caller, what's happening? Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you this morning?
Hey, I just wanted to go back in on what you were saying about Trump and Greenland.
Okay.
And what it's tied to the money that he's going to make. For example, I don't know if you know about Anderson Cooper. He interviewed a New York Times reporter who tracked the money that Trump has made this past year, his first year in office. Do you know that him and his family raked in $1.4 billion?
Yeah.
And this guy is saying this is all that he knows of.
Right.
So he's going into Greenland, and 500 million I told you last week was put into a bank account over there in Dubai for him off of that Venezuelan deal.
Right.
So I mean, how do you what is Congress or where's a lawsuit against all of this to take it to the Supreme Court so that they can make it clear? Can he continue to make money while he's in office and just scrap the emollients clause? Or I mean, why is all the powers that be in on letting this man just rape this country.
Because many of the members of Congress that support him are also making money.
Yeah.
They're also investing. There are a ton of people that are millionaires that are in Congress because of their proximity to Trump and the deals that he's making. I'm up against the clock, bro, but I promise you I'll actually take time. I'll add that to my discussion tomorrow. For folks that are listening, the brother is referencing an article that was written in the New York Times, and it is staggering. 1 year ago, Donald Trump took an oath to serve the American people. Instead, he has focused on using the presidency to enrich himself. And it goes on to say how Trump has pocketed $1,408,500,000. Okay. And so he literally walks us through again. I'm sorry, I said billion, my bad. He walks us through all of the different ways that he was able to trace money. $23 million has been made just licensing Trump's name overseas since he got reelected. Amazon pays Melania Trump $23 million for that clown movie that they made about her, the little documentary about her. $28 million for something about Melania Trump, who don't even act like she knows she's still the first lady. $90 million in settlements with media companies because he's been, suing CBS and threatening everybody. So you done made almost $100 million in just lawsuits. So I'll talk about it, but the article is disturbing. But again, the people tasked with keeping this man, honest, a lot of them, they getting rich too. Marjorie Taylor Greene was straight on the come up in her investments connected to the Trump administration. So with that ends the show for me for today. Thank you, everybody. So many people was weighing in via text. I got some good information regarding the schools. I'll talk about that tomorrow with the SROs. A ton of people checked in. I appreciate y'all. And to my raggedy son. Oh, I will call you when I get off the air. Family, I appreciate y'all, bros in the studio. Thank you. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.